Perfect Talkers, what it do? It's your guy DJ Playboy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you know how we do, man. First up, Camron said he had to boycott the movie Creed because of the picture Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors took, man. Talking about boycotts, they boycotting Bud Light because they work with a transgender influencer. Also, we're going to talk about Jake Paul fighting Nate Diaz going down in August. Yes. Can't wait to see that one. And of course, we got to talk about these government documents that was leaked and tell you all about the guy who leaked them. It's Perfect Talk, baby. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. And of course, I'm here riding solo dolo, but I got to bring y'all all the latest in news, entertainment, politics, all that, man. So how y'all doing, man? It's been a while, like a little week since I seen y'all, man. A lot of things have changed. Not much going on in my life. Went down to New York City, got to kick it with my parents, my mom's birthday, you know what I mean? So got to see them. And you know, as your parents get older, you put you in that frame of mind, man. You just want to start just seeing them more and more and spending time with them and having those conversations. We spoke about it. I do another podcast. Shout out to my homegirl Ayo Niche, called Ayo Niche and Friends. And we spoke about that earlier this week too, just like how important those phone calls are and reaching out to your family. So, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get more into that. It's not my strongest point, but I'm trying to do a little bit better in that. Of course, Mother's Day right around the corner. So, you know what I mean? That gives me another excuse and just all that. My mom's birthday is here. My sister's birthday. My girl's birthday just passed, man. It's it's a lot. April's a lot for your boy. But I'm happy, man. It's spring. It's warm out. You know what I'm saying? My energy's different. I'm hitting the gym a lot more. You know, as soon as it get warm out, you start noticing how tight them t-shirts fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, let me tighten up on a couple things around here. But I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to be rocking out with y'all. Make sure, shout out to everybody rocking out on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like everything that we do, just to keep in touch with what we doing up here at Perfect Talk Podcast. I go by the name of DJ Playboy, and we're gonna start with my spotlight story, man. I like to just focus on something in the news. It might not be the biggest story, but it's something that caught my attention. It's something that I want to talk on for a little bit. And this week's spotlight story comes from Killer Cam, Harlem's own Camron. You know what I mean? He posted a picture online on April 8th, a photo of Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, and underneath captioned it, "The reason I didn't go see Creed." It was random. You know what I mean? Like, the movie would have been out for a few weeks. The picture had been circulating in publications and online. And, you know, Camron making content. We all know Camron has a new sports show that's out on YouTube. Go check that out if you haven't. And if you're a fan of Camron, you know, like, how he gets down. So just, I guess, you know, feeling like they had to make some content, feeling like, you know what I mean, they had to put something out, or just wanting to state his thoughts, you know what I mean, talk about it, what's on his mind. Camron posted that. And it got mixed reviews online, you know what I mean, people in the comments, they were for it and against it, you know what I mean. Let me see, Fabulous, you know, shout out to Fabulous from Brooklyn, said that this was a funny promo shoot for a boxing movie and had the crying laughing emoji on it. Don Q, according to Hollywood Unlocked, also commented, they couldn't just take pics with boxing gloves? Question mark. That's crazy. So, you know what I mean? There were people who found it funny and, you know, found a joke in it. And there were also people that were like a little bit offended by it or condemned his comments, looked at it as being negative, feeling like the picture, in reference to the picture, it was actually good. Please, let's not promote that narrative. Black, not love, joy, and friendship looks good on black men. And put a brown heart emoji. So a lot of people also coming at Camron saying that, yo, this seems a little bit homophobic. You know what I mean? This seems like you were kind of trying to call him gay. And which Camron responded, "Who said anything about gay? I just said I didn't see the movie because of this pic." It had the man shrugging emoji. You thinking about something gay, which I have no problem with anyone gay. Somebody told Camron it's a really good movie. He said, don't care. Another person said, "Just when I thought you grew up." And Camron responded, "Psych." So like I said, I think what I want to speak on here is people try to throw the being homophobic on Camron. Homophobia. And I don't necessarily think that's what this was. I think it was toxic masculinity more than anything. It's like, you know what I mean? A man is supposed to fit this narrative. A man is supposed to fit in this box. A black man is supposed to be gangster. A black man is supposed to be tough. A black man can't show sensitivities at any point, or otherwise he's coming out of the closet, I guess. And Camron wasn't the only person that gave this response to this picture. You know what I mean? I listened to a popular podcast where they spent, you know, a good amount of time joking on the picture. But it also is a comedy podcast. So, you know what I mean? They were leaning towards comedy. And Camron posted this on social media where people are trying to be funny. You know what I mean? As I take a sip of my coffee. Nah, but people are trying to be funny online in the comments. And it's like, they're not always trying to necessarily say like their thoughts on society or exactly what's going to be politically correct. They're going to say what's going to get comments, likes, and responses, replies, right? So I'm a fan of Camron. I love Camron's music to this day. I still bump Purple Haze, one of my favorite albums. And I'm a fan of everything Camron does. I like his sports shows. This I thought was a little off base, and it's you could tell by the comments there were mixed reviews. You know what I mean? There were people that were just like, "Yo, this is corny." You trying to play them. There are also people that brought up the fact that Camron used to wear pink, right? Remember when Camron came out with, I believe it was after Come Home With Me in the Purple Haze era on Rockefeller, he was rocking pink minks, you know what I mean? And pink t-shirts. He had a generation of thugs out there rocking pink t-shirts in the hood, like that you never seen it before, and it was happening. So there was an influence out there. And I guess what people were trying to say, or I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if Camron was able to define pink to what he wanted it to be and made it cool, made it fashionable, made it acceptable, you got to give these brothers the same freedom with their art, right? Or with the photo shoot that they decide to take. It's like they're trying to let another side show, right? And maybe they chose this because it is such a violent movie. It is a movie where it involves fighting. It's like, let's show another side to black men that's not always fighting, not always violence, not always what the media wants to portray, and let's give the media opportunity to show us in a different type of way. I'm sure they were fully aware that it would get this type of response, but I think it's on us as a society, and I'm not just talking to black people, I'm talking to all people, to really stop putting people in their boxes. You know what I mean? Stop putting people in, you know what I mean, round pegs and square holes and trying to make it fit. It's like it ain't always gonna happen like that. I'm a black dude, like. I listen to, obviously I'm a DJ, I listen to all types of music too. It's not just hip hop music, it's you know, something I specialize in, but I've been bumping Morgan Wallen's recent album, Heavy. You know what I'm saying? I listen to rock music. You know, I'm a big fan of 90s rock and beyond. It's just, I started rocking the more Beatles music recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't close myself off to those social constructs, you know what I mean, that a black man's supposed to listen to this and drive like this type of car and, you know what I mean, be interested in these type of things. It's like, nah, it's a big world out here, and it's a beautiful world when you're able to express who you really are. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people out here in this country that feel like they can't be who they feel they really are, and will go to the extent of, you know, having surgery to look a little more like who they feel that they are. So when you see like a brother out here that's willing to be outside of status quo and show his sensitivities, let's not, as a society, break that down. Let's applaud that, because that type of freedom is the same type of freedom that Camron did when he was able to rock pink minks, and people, you know what I mean, that wanted to look at him and say, oh, that's gay, or you know what I mean, I'm not listening to nobody that wears pink. You know what I mean? He was able to open up that to a bigger crowd and be like, look, get past that stupid stereotype, get past that nonsense, and you know what I mean, this shit is dope. You don't want to expose yourself to it. And I think we got to give Michael B and Jonathan Majors that same freedom. You know what I mean? Let them expose a different side of masculinity. Let them sort of expose a different side of black men that you don't see on a daily basis, just to let it be out there in the zeitgeist that it exists. You know what I mean? First story up, man. Let's get right to it. Y'all been hearing about this big government document leak. You know what I'm saying? It was like a week long, you know what I mean, that I was hearing about it. I'm sure it was in the stratosphere longer than that, but I was hearing about it. And just like, who leaked this? What's the documents out here? You was seeing the information, but they was like, yo, we got to figure out who leaked this, who got this out there. And they did. They caught the young man who did it. His name was Jack Teixeira. He was charged for the government document leak. He's facing federal charges. Removal, retention, and transmission of classified defense information. Yeah. Young Jack Teixeira, he used to work he's a Air National Guardsman for Massachusetts. He's 21 years old, and he worked on a base. He used his access on that base allegedly to take documents home, took pictures of them, and then posted them to the video game social media site or platform Discord. Yeah, I've been hearing about Discord for a while, and I know a lot of funny business does go on there. And that's how they caught up with him. You know what I mean? Just my man was out here just putting information out here for no reason. Information on Israel, South Korea, Ukraine, Ukraine military positions, international support for Ukraine, just how America felt about the war, like if they even thought Ukraine was actually making any progress, or if they thought it was, something that they were just going to run out of steam real soon. They spoke. Some of these documents had sensitive topics such as under what conditions Putin would use nuclear weapons. Showed that we spied on not only our enemies but also our allies. You know what I mean? So it's looking real murky out here for young Jack Teixeira. They're saying he faces a minimum of 15 years, but more than likely will face more, and possibly it could be like 10 years per document that was leaked. So it's something that is not taken lightly. Definitely something that put people at national security at risk. Something that put our troops who are overseas at risk. It's just silly. I don't even get the purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that'll come out in days to come. Just exactly why he felt the need to do this, but it's just silly. You know what I mean? And I don't get that. Right? We have this portion of the country that super patriotic. You know what I mean? America this, America that, and then. You know what I mean? I want to be in the armed forces. I want to carry a gun for this country. I want to do this, that, third. But then they get in, like young Jack Teixeira, get disillusioned, and then you go to like exposing secrets. You just go to the other side. Like, I don't get that. That's that's some wild boy shit. That's worse than January 6th shit, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Or at least just as bad. Like, you know what I mean? But you was trying to help the other side. You know what I mean? Like, that's nervous. I don't get it at all. I don't get this thing where people just want to post things online to be recognized. Like, I've never seen anybody get fame off of just posting shit online. I see people get not even notoriety, just like infamy. To be honest with you, like you find yourself just being in trouble. Like I think of Snowden. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to him for revealing what he revealed, but you got to go live in Russia. You got to be on the run. It's like. Nothing comes from being the first one to report something, unless your name is TMZ or something like that. Like, there's nothing that comes from being the leak, the snitch, the rat. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with young Jack Teixeira. You know what I mean? He was assigned to cyber defense operations, right? And he I'm assuming used that type of access to get access to these top secret documents. But also, while he knew the search was going on to find him, he used a security clearance to try to keep tabs on the investigation as well, allegedly, by searching the word leak on his government computer. Which, I guess everything about this case just shows a level of a lack of intelligence, I guess I should say. So, like, it doesn't surprise me that he would be searching the word leak on his government computer while being the cause of the leak. People, make smarter decisions, you know what I mean? Because you literally are just setting yourself up for trouble. Speaking of decisions, I don't know if I want to call them smarter or dumber, just interesting decisions. Let's talk about this Bud Light boycott. So if you don't know, Bud Light decided that they was going to send a couple beers to influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Mulvaney is a transgender influencer. And Bud Light supposedly sent her these cans to congratulate her on her first year of being a woman. They sent her a can that actually had her face featured on one of them. And Mulvaney, documented this in a social media post. Mulvaney has also had partnerships with Ulta. I believe even after this Bud Light controversy, has gotten one with Nike. So definitely a person of influence. At least the corporations are viewing her as that. Now the reason this was interesting, Cause you know who Bud Light sells to. I don't. You've been to the bars. You've been to a game or two. You know what I mean? Like you know who Bud Light sells it to. The everybody. They want to be America's beer, so to speak, right? Which means they want to be Bud Light Platinum in the hood. They want them. They want the Bud Light in at the country festivals. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that it's in everybody's hands. They want to be America's brand. And there's a portion of America that feels some type of way about the transgender community. More specifically, the conservative right. Now, people such as Kid Rock, I don't know if you've seen, he came out with a video where he was shooting cans of Bud Light in defiance to them. We're having a partnership with a transgender influencer. I saw this on the cover of the New York Post that felt like Bud Light was trying to push a transgender agenda. Excuse me. People posted things on social media, pouring out their cans, destroying their cans, vowing to not drink it, saying it's Miller time now, baby. Must be Miller time. You know what I mean? Which is silly. Just to let you know where I stand on that. But I mean, if you like a beer, you like a beer. Who cares who they? As long as there's not a person that is been criminally charged with anything, or I guess bias or bigoted to any group of people, like who really cares? You know what I mean? Who they decide. But bigotry is what is at play here. You know what I mean? People are so offended by a person feeling like they were born one gender and wanting to change to a different gender, that your alliance with that is defiance to their cause, apparently. And Bud Light, when they first came out, see, Bud Light, this thing too, what's interesting, is Bud Light saw that when Dylan Mulvaney did a partnership with Ulta, that it caused some controversy. So it could be that, you know, they wanted the smoke, right? They wanted the attention, right? Mulvaney also has had beef with Caitlyn Jenner, you know what I mean? So it's no stranger to controversy. But Bud Light decided that they wanted to have this partnership. And in doing this, definitely pissed off a certain portion of their fan base. Now, when it first had come out, Bud Light made a spokesperson for Anheuser-Busch that was unnamed. Anheuser-Busch is the brewing company that owns Bud Light. It seems like this person, the spokesperson, stood by his choice to support Mulvaney. Their comment was, Anheuser-Busch works with hundreds of influencers across our brands as one of many ways to authentically connect with audiences across various demographics and passion points. From time to time, we produce unique commemorative cans for fans and for brand influencers like Dylan Mulvaney. This commemorative can was a gift to celebrate a personal milestone and is not for sale to the general public. That was the initial statement. Seemed like they were kind of, standing by their choice. This past Friday, the 14th of April, Anheuser-Busch's CEO, Brendan Whitworth, decided to release a statement for the first time since the backlash had began. Also, keep in mind, Bud Light also didn't post anything to their social media since the backlash has began. On Friday, posted a picture of cans and wrote TGIF with a question mark, which is a weird post. But maybe just to dip their toe in the water, right? Just to see if people were still mad, kind of, I guess, type of thing. In which they did receive comments where people were very anti-Bud Light on there. Some people decided that they were in support of Bud Light. You know what I mean? And were like, yo, y'all, because y'all rock with transgenders, because y'all being brave in the face of people trying to bully you to drop to her as a brand ambassador, we gonna start drinking it. I mean, I personally don't drink beer myself, sorry, but I think not drinking a beer because of anything that because of decide to do a business with a transgender, I think that's a transgender person is, I don't know, why, that's silly to me that you would stop drinking a beer that you were a fan of because of that. I'm sure Budweiser has made bad decisions before and it didn't stop you from wanting to get drunk on it. And why would this be such a strong point for you to stand on? I don't know. It just shows me like a lack of customer loyalty to a brand. But I do want to read the statement that the CEO made. His name is Brandon Whitworth, Anheuser-Busch CEO, said, "We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over a beer. My time serving this country taught me the importance of accountability and the values upon which America was founded: freedom, hard work, and respect for one another. As CEO of Anheuser-Busch, I am focused on building and protecting our remarkable history and heritage. I deeply care about this country, this company, our brand, and our partners. I spend much of my time traveling across America, listening and learning from our customers, distributors, and others." It just goes on to say, we stand by the brand and that we want this to be a brand that stands for America, which I won't say is a total 180 from their original statement, but it kind of is not as strong as we stand with Dylan type of thing. It's kind of like, hey, remember, I served in the military. You know what I mean? Like, I think America, and this is just a snippet of this statement, America is brought up twice in these three paragraphs. You know what I mean? Military's brought up, freedom is brought up at least once. History and heritage is brought up, and and some people might say those are coded language. You know what I mean, to the conservative right, to let you, like, I'm one of you guys. You know what I mean? And if we messed up, you know what I mean, this is something that I want to see if we can fix. It remains to be seen. You know what I mean? Like, once again, I think shooting beer cans over a company deciding to do business with a transgender influencer like my man Kid Rock did is it just shows your maturity level. And it shows, you know what I mean, just like I can't give that much attention to something I dislike, and you know what I mean, but apparently other people can. So we'll see how Bud Light handles this. We'll see what's gonna happen. Like I said, Dylan Mulvaney actually just recently got a brand partnership with Nike. We'll see what that's going to cause, if that's going to cause any backlash. I doubt it. You know what I mean? I think that the people who are vocal about this were a significant part of Anheuser-Busch's customer base, Bud Light's customer base, and that they're feeling it. I've seen stock prices of their competitors have risen. So it has to be affecting the business in some way, shape, or form. And once you affect the money, you're going to start affecting decisions. However, I don't think that's all bad for Bud Light. I think the fact that I'm talking about it right now, people have been talking about it all week. They're going to continue to talk about it. We've reached a point where people care more about impressions, and people care more about, like free advertising, which we're all giving Bud Light right now. That it actually pans out, that they look at it probably as a net win. You know what I mean, of money that they didn't have to spend to get their brand's name out there. And something that people in 2 to 3 weeks are probably not even going to give a fuck about anymore either. So I think Bud Light's, they're smart in knowing what they're doing. I don't want it to be a situation though where they're starting to take influencers from communities that have been looked down upon or even held down, and then try to use that as like, well, let's just hire them whether we like them or agree with them or not, just to get people talking. You know what I mean? It reminds me of the song Niggas in Paris, where Will Ferrell is like, it gets the people going. Like, I don't want to see people being used just to get the people going. I think that would be a tragic way to go out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of thing that would make me want to boycott a company. Next up, no federal charges are going to be placed in the Shanquella Robinson case. If you are not familiar with this, Shanquella Robinson was a young lady in October, went on a luxury vacation with a couple of her friends to visit Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. 24 hours after arriving, she was dead. You know what I mean? The friends were a little bit weird about, revealing what happened. Stated that it was alcohol poisoning. However, the autopsy revealed that severe neck and spinal injuries were caused. We've seen a leaked video of a fist fight at one point where a young lady was severely beating up Shanquella without Shanquella fighting back. believe Shanquella's like nude in the video. Doesn't seem to be putting up any type of fight, but seems to be taking like severe blows to the head and her entire body. Um, just even watching that video, man, it's hard to watch. You know what I mean? It's crazy. To find out that the federal authorities aren't gonna move further, it shows me that that this case has been muddied. That there's not evidence. That they probably don't want to spend the money and the resources for something that is going to be difficult to prove, based off of it being in two different countries. One investigating it, and then Mexico being where it was located. However, Mexico has placed out an arrest warrant, but they haven't followed. There hasn't been any follow up on that warrant. It's sad. There's really no reason that anybody should go on vacation and then not have answers for their family to know, for their family to like have to see that video that was leaked, and then be left with that as the last image of their daughter. You know what I mean? But then there's nobody facing justice for it. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird. The fact that reports were saying that it was alcohol poisoning, but then then them saying there was severe spinal cord injury, an atlas luxation, but a U.S. autopsy did not reveal a spinal cord injury, but did find brain swelling. That type of difference I think might have swayed federal officials from like, we don't know, this one's messy, we don't know if we want to even get involved in it. But once again, like I said, there is an arrest warrant from Mexican authorities, but it hasn't yielded an actual arrest. Yeah, it's a sad story. It's something that I hope, I didn't even want to really report about it at the time because it was so murky and we didn't know, what details were going to really come out from it. And I thought with time we'd get more answers, and it's even just gotten more and more like murkier. More and more of a question mark. Like, and the more the time passes, you just feel like justice won't prevail in this one. So, the attorney for the family did say civil action can still be taken, and more than likely will be. But yeah, just thoughts and prayers to Shanquella Robinson's family. I hope justice is somehow served and prevailed, and the truth always comes to light. I mean, I stand by that wholeheartedly. So I think that as long as they keep their fight alive and they keep going on this, that they will find something out at least. You know what I mean? And hopefully that justice can come to can prevail, man. But like this is just a hard story to even think of. Like I said, I was watching that video earlier today, and I've seen the video before, but it still caused like a physical reaction out of me. Like it still made my heart beat fast. It still made me feel like just pain for a mother and a family that would have to go through that. So thoughts and prayers with Shanquella Robinson's family. Moving on, man, on a lighter note, you know what I mean? Everybody just keep talking about this Barbie trailer. I had to go watch it. I was like, everybody keep talking about, I'm talking about people from all types of podcasts I listen to, urban, comedy. I watched it and it left me thinking two things, really. That one, nostalgia always pays, right? People are always gonna want to watch something or be drawn to something that reminds them of a happier time in their life, and I guess Barbie, speaks to a lot of people's childhood. But also, I think some of these influencers getting paid to talk about it. Let's keep it a buck, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see that much interest in it, why it's even that crazy. I think, you know what I mean, whoever's making the movie, let me check out who's making it. Is it Warner Brothers? But whoever's making that movie is throwing a bag to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely got these influencers and these podcasters and everybody talking about it. And, you know what I mean? Don't feel free to throw a little bag my way, baby. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Take some of that movie money to talk about it. I think Margaret Robbie's production company is making it. Lucky Chap Entertainment. Look at that. Shout out to Margaret Robbie. Oh, shout out Issa Rae, too. I did see Issa Rae in the preview. You know what I mean? And doing the damn thing. I'm proud of young Issa Rae. You know what I'm saying? Out here making that money. Okay, oh yeah, Lucky Chap Entertainment. which is Margot Robbie's company, as well as Mattel Films. So that's pretty fly. You know what I mean? And Heyday Films will co-produce. That's lit. Shout out to them. I hope it. I hope the movie blows up. I hope it makes a ton of money. Looks like they're putting a lot of money behind it. And like I said, shout out Issa Rae. I love seeing young black sisters out here making that big Hollywood money. Also, something big that I seen, man, I had to talk on in the sports world, man. They announced the big fight coming this August 5th. Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul. I can't wait to see it, man. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big one. Nate came from the UFC, just retired. Jake Paul is off of a loss. You know what I mean? He was knocking out everybody left and right and finally caught an L to Tommy Fury. So, you know what I mean? The dragon can be slayed. I think it's crazy that it's Jake Paul, you know what I mean? I mentioned this on the show before, but that Jake Paul attracts more attention than some boxers, professional boxers, you know what I mean? And he's brought the entertainment back to it. It's something that I think was big with Muhammad Ali, something that was big in the Floyd Mayweather era is that shit talking for the promo. You know what I mean? There's something that's big in UFC nowadays. It's something that's the WWF. Like, some people that watch WWF love the promos where they would have to talk to Mean Gene Okerlund more than the actual, like, wrestling action portion of it. You know what I mean? So you come to see why somebody like Jake Paul could be big, because he knows how to entertain. He knows how to promote a fight. He's doing it through his company. Nate Diaz, this is his first time promoting his own fight. So we're going to see how interesting that'll be. And other than this, the only big thing I'm thinking about is that Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not the hugest boxing fan. I ain't gonna front. Like, I probably watch more of these YouTubers and other people box than professional boxers. But I can't go nowhere without hearing about Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. So I'm definitely got that coming up. That's gonna be April 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good one. I guess I got my money on Tank, right? That's where the smart money's going. But I'm not sleeping on Ryan Garcia either. You know what I mean? The Jake Paul Nate Diaz fight will be August 5th, America Airlines Center in Dallas. It's gonna be 8 rounds at 185, which I think, Jake's coming down to 185 and Nate's going up to 185, and it's gonna be boxing. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that for some reason, and you would have thought that the hype started during the pandemic. You would have thought it'd been done by now for the whole Jake Paul celebrity fighting era, but he's making it happen. He's turning it into something, and I like when people turn something out of nothing. So, you know what I mean? Salute to Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. Get your money. Avoid the CTE, please. You know what I mean? Stay safe and protect yourself at all times, man. And that, my friends, is another episode of Perfect Talk Podcast in the books. You can find your guy DJ Playboy on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Find me on Instagram at PLICCAPLAYBOY, PLICCAPLEEZY. Also, check out every my fault. Follow us Perfect Talk Podcast on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio, and also at Perfect Talkers on Twitter. Make sure you watch us on YouTube. We got the channel popping on there. Check out every episode right there. You know what I mean? We do big things on the YouTube. Make sure you support, subscribe, and like them videos. You know what I mean? We like that too. The algorithm loves it. Also, every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is available on our website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. We're giving it a new look. So, you know what I mean? Some changes coming through. So enjoy the rock. We just getting better with everyone. But you can check out every episode on there. Perfect Talk Podcast, my radio show, Money Talks Radio, and the radio show I do solo dolo. That night shift, yes, go check it out right there on the website, perfecttalkpodcast.com. Also, every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We trying to get it some more places too, so let us know if you got like a favorite podcast network or platform that you can't find us on. Let us know, because we're gonna get up on there too. So Perfect Talk Radio typically comes up when you search that, and just let me know if you can't find it. I'll send you a link. We got the link tree popping. You can just go follow Instagram and just keep up with everything we doing. But we dropping episodes every week for y'all, banger after banger after banger. Also, check out every Wednesday night, I'm live with my homegirl Ayo Niche on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. It's called Ayo Niche and Friends, featuring DJ Playboy, the live podcast, and it's interesting. You know what I mean? We having guests on there. We interacting with people in the live. You know what I'm saying? It's fun, man, and it's the enjoyment of just live TV. Anything could happen. Things could go wrong on the fly. We got to figure things out. So, you know what I mean? It's a different beast than podcasting, but it's a great skill to have, a great notch to have on my belt, and I ain't going front, so go check it out. It's an entertaining time, and we always keep it a party. It's always love, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the friends, shout out to the entire community rocking with us, you know what I mean? It's love, it's peace, it's everything, you know what I mean? It's a great place to be. So every Wednesday night, Ayo Nisha Friends live podcast featuring DJ Playboy. Go check that out. And I think that's it, man. We up out of here. Just been rocking out, doing the damn thing. Stay peaceful, stay blessed. Stay spreading love. I had to like take a little moment to myself in the past week to be like, certain things got to be eliminated just to find that balance in life so everything else could go right. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to minus one thing out so that way everything else could still fall into place and the whole entire row of dominoes is not going to drop. So I had to do that myself this week and kind of fall back on a creative project that I was doing. But we right back at it. We got some ducks in a row and we just moving forward into this new season. So stay peaceful. Stay blessed and stay spreading that love. It's the Brooklyn way, baby. We up out of here. Peace.